We're here in the Inverness Public Library, which also doubles as the exhibition space for the Jack Mason Museum of Westmoreland History. My name is Meg Linden, one of the volunteers at the museum here, and I also a person who put together this show with a lot of help from my friends. It's called Inverness Park, an Historical View. And it starts with, the earliest thing here is a line drawing done in about 1858 showing White House Pool and the road that went up to the ranches of Point Reyes up Haggerty Gulch, which is now called Balboa. We have a lot of pictures of the area of White House Pool, which was actually named for a white ranch house, which was the home of the people who ran the Piedmont Ranch. This is one of the Shafter ranches, and continued in business until the early 20s, when it became, when the house itself was sold off from the Shafters. In 1908, Julia Shafter Hamilton had to raise money to pay off her father's debts. Her father had recently died and owed a great deal of money. So one of the things she did to raise money was to sell to her land agent, Isaac Freeman, the Piedmont Ranch, which was at White House Pool and included all of current Inverness Park. And eventually he got permission for subdivisions, and people started buying his lots up on the hillside and building houses. The exhibit shows some of the houses, the early houses that were built, and it also shows the development of what we call downtown Inverness Park. Now, if you blink, you go by very fast and don't even notice that there's a nice store there and several other places to buy things and to enjoy yourself. So slow down through Inverness Park, relax and enjoy it. Many of the people in Inverness Park were of Italian background, and one of the families there grew vegetables and delivered them to Inverness and also over to Point Reyes. And eventually they developed a little store, and we have pictures of the original store here, which had a false front and looked very, very strange. And they took the false front away, and it looked more like a nice little country store. But it sold everything, including gas and engine oil and cigarettes and groceries and fruit and anything you wanted. Eventually that became too small, and the family who owned the store had already leased it out to another couple who were very ambitious and built a new store, which now is Perry's in downtown Inverness Park, but originally it was a much smaller building, and it did not include the local bakery that was built later. And most of these pictures are fairly old and were either in the museum archives already, or people came forward to let us scan their pictures so that we could make prints for this particular exhibit. And it was very gracious of them to share their family photographs with us, and some of those are here in the exhibit and acknowledged. There are also some maps showing over time the development of the area and where the houses were built. Another attraction in Inverness Park was the California Trout Farm. This was started in 1910 and originally had a contract with the California Fish and Game to supply trout to many of the local creeks. But fishermen could also come and catch fish directly there, and they had barbecue facilities so you could actually eat your fish as well. And there were several, many of the families took in boarders to help make ends meet. They weren't called bed and breakfasts then, but I'm sure they provided both. And one was a formal hotel. This one here was run by the eldest daughter of the family who ran the store, and building is still extant, although it's been through many variations, including being a store, but I think it's private residence now. And on Sunday, the 15th of April, there'll be an open house for this exhibit. Nothing special, but refreshments and access on Sunday. Otherwise, the open house is from 2 to 5 on Sunday. Otherwise, the exhibit is open during any time that the Inverness Public Library is open. So I hope you will come and enjoy the exhibit.